People, DG, I'm back again. Now, fresh off our resurgent comeback, if we want to paint it positively, against Aston Villa in the league, 3-2. The games don't stop, they're coming thick and fast. We've got Nottingham Forest midweek, Cat Yarabel Cup, Carling Cup, as you see me subconsciously in all my videos about this, referred to it as, people. For me, I want to win everything. Of course, if you say to me Arsenal's goals for the season is simply put is top 4. Anything above top 4 or just Champions League qualification, whether that would be or the Europa League final or the FA Cup, which Arsenal have a good history with, or even the League Cup. These things are gravy. It's a competition. Nobody wakes up and wants to win the Cat Yarabel Cup in their life. Nobody dreams of being a young footballer to win it. But I want to win it. It could be Emre's potentially first trophy. It could be the first trophy in a lot of these, which I hope are long careers for our young players. For whether it's Nelson and the Joes or the upcoming ones like Saka and Martinelli, it could be a first trophy. It gives them their bit of hunger. And if we're real, we don't have the best of records with the League Cup anyways, people. I don't think I've seen Arsenal win that in my lifetime. In fact, I haven't. It's caused me a lot of stress. Numerous finals we got to, and Chelsea beat us up and Drogba bullied us. And I know you will remember against Birmingham. But for me, I want to see, I think it presents a good opportunity to the young players to play some games, to potentially go to the final and win. Obviously, to get a trophy for the first time and for potentially Emre's first time as Arsenal manager. Obviously, away from that, just looking at short term, it gives these young players and players that are not necessarily in Emre's first choice in terms of his lineup, it gives them somewhere to kind of showcase Emre, yo, you can rely on me for the season, or you need to be playing me against of XYZ. It's obviously tough because we've just played and we've got them in, 48 hours? The boys might have Monday off for a light recovery session and they're going again. There's obviously going to be a lot of rotation. The first one I will point to is Aubameyang. For me, Aubameyang, all the other first team players, the typical ones that typically play in the Prem, would have it off within reason and bench purposes. Aubameyang would actually be called up for me, people. I need him on that bench. There's no Lacazette. Again, I don't want to. It feels disrespectful to say it's not important, but it's not. This League Cup isn't really important in the grand scheme of things. So we could just play the young players. But Eddie's on loan. I would start John-Jules. I didn't want to say that yet, but I would either start him and Balogun on the bench, or I would start either one or both of them. But I feel you've got to have Aubameyang on that bench just for the football coach in me that thinks if this game is going a different way, or if there is extra time, can Aubameyang give me an half an hour? And again, it's a big ox on the legs because Aubameyang, he played however many minutes against Frankfurt. He's played a significant part in the week. We've got United to come, so we can't deal with any injuries. Midweek, ideally you want him to play no part, and I would only bring him off that bench if need be, people. But I'd need him, to be fair. So I would start John-Jules, but without speaking about that, giving some credit to Forest. Forest is a big club, people. They might not be the Forest of before my time, but it's a big club. It's a team that produced good young players. It's a team that's in good form. I believe in all competitions. I could be wrong because I just quickly browsed it, but they've only lost one in all comps, people. Putting strong form in the Championship, in the league, which sees them currently sixth. And they've won their 2 previous fixtures within this cup competition, which we're entering now in the 3rd round. So we've got to respect them. They've obviously it's a reunion with Arsenal boy Jenkinson, if fit and if in the squad. They've got a couple of decent young players being watched by Premier League clubs, like that centre-half Joe Worrell. Again, because they're 6th in the league, I don't know. I'm not a Forest fan. I don't know what they're looking at for their season. Are they going to play a reduced and mixed squad and whatnot, people, because they're focusing on the league? Who knows? Or are they trying to win this league? Or is it a giant killing, people? Either way, we've got to get through this, people. We've got to get through this. I want to see us go as far as I can because it's a good competition for the young players. The more grounds they get to, the more games and opportunities there are for them. And for the young players, if you can potentially get to the final of this, and if you do well and be called upon in the group stage games in the Europa, potentially looking at the Sakas and them man there to potentially feature in the further rounds of the competition, the more opportunities you have to showcase your talent, the more opportunities you could potentially have to play under Emre, or football's a big thing, alert other clubs to potentially take a chance on you and advance your career somewhere, somehow. Players have got to be rested, people. So I guess the only thing missing really, truly, is the team sheet. Now, Mavropanos is getting back and he's playing a couple games for the 23s and he looks fit, people, and he's doing his thing. You obviously saw Kieran Tierney and Bellerin get an hour under their belt. Bellerin's been out for 8 or so months. Tierney's been out since he's come to this club against Wolves' under 23s on Friday. Potentially, could they get more minutes against in a game like this where it's a free hit of sorts? I would give that, as a fan just looking in, I would look to play them. But then you look at it, this is their first game back. Is it wise to throw them in the environments like this, people? Again, if we play them, they get an hour or so and they're substituted, it could be good. It could be good to give these guys some minutes, especially going into the United game. Or do we just allow them guys for now? We keep playing them 23s, or we look to schedule some friendlies for them and potentially have them both in contention for United in the league to come at the end of the month, or when this cup come, well, next Monday, really and truly, a week on Monday. So it's a tough one. You've obviously got Saka. Unlucky to be substituted, in my opinion, due to obviously the red card in today's game where he came off against Villa, 45 minutes. Played a significant part in Frankfurt. It could be a big ask to start him in this game, but then again, he only got 45 minutes. He's a young lad. He's surely good to go. But by that same token, he's 18. He's just freshly turned 18. He's still developing. It's a big ask, and we've got to think long term with these players and protect these players as he's still developing physically, people. Physically developing don't just mean gaining muscles. It's stamina and the way and rate his body recovers from and stuff. And all you sports scientists and people that have way more qualifications and know what you're talking about more than me know where I'm getting at. But that's the initial point. So for me, the only easy option probably is Martinez in goal, because the cup competitions is his. Maitland-Niles, again, status of his injury, I'm not too sure. Bellerin's probably a shoo-in for United. So do we leave Bellerin out of this one completely? Who plays right back? If need be, for me, it's probably a toss-up between Mustafi and Chambers. I feel slightly more comfortable, people, playing Chambers there. So I'm going to go with Martinez, Callum Chambers at right back. Kolasinac just has to do a job for me at left back, people. What other left backs in the side if Tierney's not fit? So I'd earmark Bellerin and Tierney to play on either flank, but if they're not fit enough to play, then something's got to be done. So Kieran Tierney, I keep calling him Tierney would obviously play left back, but Kolasinac is going to have to do it for me again. So it'll be Chambers and him at right and left back respectively. Centre defence would be Rob Holding and Mustafi, because purely I don't see Mavropanos starting. It would be Mavropanos and Holding for me. If a right back was fit, Chambers would be playing. But something just leads me to believe Mustafi. So I'm going to go with Mustafi. And to be fair, as walking fire hazard as Mustafi is, we should be able to get through Forest with these sort of players. So the back five, to recap, would be, again, asterisks for Bellerin and Tierney. But if need be, Martinez, Holding and Mustafi, Kolasinac at left back, Callum Chambers at right back. In midfield, I'd go with Emil Smith-Rowe as a cam sort of thing, playing in his more natural role. Joel Willock and Torreira, two players who came off the bench and probably will start in that game. The front three options, people, I would go with Reece Nelson, I would start Tyrese John-Jules, and I'd also go with either or Saka or Martinelli. Saka would be the one for me, but again, I've just made a point about his fitness, so I think it'll be a good opportunity for Martinelli, because he's been on the bench enough times. He ain't played in the 23s. He's obviously fit, but you wonder how fit physically is he, and it'd be nice for him to get a chance in the team. I'd play Tyrese John-Jules because I feel he deserves it, people. He's done everything he could at academy level. He's shown what he can at pre-season, in pre-season. I think he's good enough to play. I think he's good enough to be given an opportunity. I wouldn't mind throwing Balogun in there as well, because it would be a good ask for both of them to play against senior pros. And Balogun, since the season started, in 6 appearances, 6 goals, 4 assists. He got a hat-trick and a brace, and he got a hat-trick 1 week and a brace this week. He's doing his thing, and he's stepped up to 23s level. So both of them, again, you can start both, but I will go with Tyrese John-Jules. Balogun would definitely be on my bench along with Aubameyang, and need be, Balogun would be the one to come off that bench, people. I feel I really want to see our 2 young strikers play, man. Really want to see. I really know I'm a big fan of Tyrese John-Jules. The man can score goals, can link up, can play with his back to goal, can play simple, can play in tight spaces. Balogun, I love his movement. I love his link-up play. I like how he can score instinctive finishes, well-taken finishes, play with his head up, and he can improve in that. And stuff like that. They both can improve at a lot of stuff, like if you watch my vids. But I want to see these guys get chances. I'm not naive to believe Tyrese, Balogun and Eddie Nketiah are all going to make it at this team. But if we can go through all 3 of them and not one of them is established first team player of some sorts, I do believe we have done something wrong, people. So I expect it to be a good encounter. obviously was happy to see Jenkinson back and things like, well, not happy like that, but he's a former Arsenal man and he did love the club. So we'll see what happens in that regards. But for me, it's time to unleash Tyrese John-Jules. Give him a chance, people, man. If not Balogun, one of them, just unleash them, man. I think they're ready, man. And this is like we on top of this competition not necessarily being our biggest priority, on top of us just playing a lot of games and we've rotated our side. Unleash these young G's, man. At least for me, I like to watch these young players because they're not polished. They will frustrate, but they're playing with a point to prove, people. Away from that, you obviously the Burtons, the Oli Incas could probably be involved. I think Swanson started the season off well. If Ben Cottrell wasn't injured, I know he's not been involved in 23's action same way as Greenwood, but they'd be two people I'd be looking into bringing. I feel young centre half Harry Clark has played quite well this season. So far since the season started, I feel just based on merit, could you involve him in the match day squad of some capacity? That's just me. I feel Swanson's played alright as well. So it all depends, man. And obviously Lundberg knows these players' profiles and has got one ear open to that sort of side of Arsenal. So we'll see what happens. But for now, people, Deluded, I'm out. Thank you for watching and rocking as usual.